Okay. It is live. I'm gonna go grab the link and I'm gonna go drop it in the chat.
Sounds good.
All right. It is in the pod, and we are live.
Hello, my fellow barbarians. We're back on the pod again. This is what, pod 8 now?
Yeah, yeah, pod 8.
Yeah, awesome. So we got obviously always MDAs here.
What's up?
And then with us we have one of the returns officers, Airborne's here with us. So go ahead and give yourself an introduction.
Hey guys. My name is Airborne. I am currently at 2.4 mil GP. I am the TB coordinator for returns.
Awesome. All right. I'll go ahead and get into the stats. We have returns. Darkside Geo, it was 28 stars, and I think 35 watt, but don't quote me on that. I think it was 35. And then for TB, we won one, complete, utter domination. And then the other one, we just got the most lopsided matchup. I think it was like, so we have 35 GLs in the guild. This guild had 30 Jedi Knight Lukes. 30 Jedi Master Lukes. So, we were outnumbered in GLs probably close to 3-1. I think they had close to 90, I think is what it was. And so we said, F it, and I think we had a Jawa wall somewhere.
Yeah, front wall was Jawas.
Yeah, and then we had
Jawas, smugglers.
We had a mace lead.
Yep, that was the other front wall. Was Mace lead. It was just a total meme. That's all it was.
And needless to say, we lost. We weren't too worried about it. And so for age, I got 30 stars, Darkside Geo, and then 39 watt, which is pretty damn impressive. I think they only had one person lose. I think they only had one or two people lose, which is really good percentage of success rate. And then they won both their territory wars. And then Begins ran their first ever Darkside Geo last go, and they ended up with 10 stars and 11 watt, which 11 watt for your first run is really good, considering I think Returns first time we ever ran it, we got 2. And I think Age first time they ran it was 4. So can't complain about that at all. Begins went 1-1 in Territory War. And then for Eternal, we ran a Dark Sun Hoth. It was 13 stars. And then I don't think we got any IPD shards. And then for Territorial War, we won both. So
nice.
We want to let's go ahead and get on to the questions then.
Yeah, let's jump right into these. Let's start with Relius did us the favor and got all his questions kind of organized here. Got a good first one here. Will you have a salt of the week? Like how you celebrate the best stonks, but instead you pay respects to the largest oof.
I'm game. I say we have it next week. I wasn't prepared for salt of the week.
Relius, if you have a salt that you have in mind, go ahead and just let us know. And we will gladly.
Yeah, just send me a DM.
We'll let everyone know about your oof, and if anyone else oofed, we'll let them know.
Yeah. Next question from him is: if we get large enough, mainly able to be Crankor, do you think we'll get a clan kind of like Barbarisms for Hire or something like that, where we start merking for the smaller guilds, or just start merking out Returns and or Age? probably what we would do is by the time Returns is able to do it on their own, we might every once in a while send some people to Age to try to help them beat it. So it'd probably be one of those kind of situations where Big Brother helps the little one out.
Um,
Next question is any advice for how to start up / keep with having multiple accounts? Kind of want to start a new account, but I don't know how to. And if there's also, and I also don't know how I would keep up with both, like maybe one on a main and an alt on the PC, main on a mobile and an alt on the PC. Honestly, that's probably the best way to do it. I would get like Nox or BlueStacks on your computer, and you can run it that way. And then for alt accounts, there's really two ways you can go with it. You can either go and start brand new from scratch, or if you're feeling a little risky and don't mind spending a little money, there are people who will sell accounts to you. Usually anywhere from like $100 to like $800. And so you can, I think typically you can buy like a good 6 to 7, 8 mil account for like $400. Couple of GLs, the whole 9 yards. That way you can kind of have like a little fun account to play around with. Or start fresh. Doesn't really matter.
if I had to talk about how to start and keep an alt account, I'd say have one account that you're serious about and focus on, and then have a second account that's more like for fun. You're not so worried about because it's really hard to stay competitive and up to speed with two different accounts going on at the same time. It can get confusing to like cross between the two. So I'd say really pick one and focus on that account, and then kind of just have a second one for fun.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not. I'm a type of person that can really only focus on one thing at a time. I've always thought about getting an alt, but haven't really ever done it. So I would probably lose focus with it. Yeah, I would say the PC and mobile is probably the mobile being the one that you're on the most, and then the PC being the one that you kind of hop in, once every day, do all your dailies and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're able to do multiple accounts, more power to you. I am not one of those people.
Nah, I agree. And then I guess, second to last question in this, his little post that he's got. If someone were to start paying some money to boost their account, what are the best ways to spend it in a late game? Honestly, just crystals. I would, if like you're looking to spend a lot of money, I would put like $50 on crystals, and then the best way to like spend those crystals would be either refreshes or just buying gear.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
um,
I would say the refresh is just to like just because you don't if you're in the late game you most likely don't need shards, but even still the drop rate on shards is much better if you do refreshes than if you just buy them outright. um, and just I would say there's not many gear pieces that the drop rate is worse enough to where you should just buy them. Um, there's a few in there, and I'm sure there's people out there that have made spreadsheets on what's efficiently what's the best gear to use crystals for. But just definitely refreshes. Nothing else in the game is worth it.
oh,
I'd
stun
say
gun.
stun guns. I mean, yeah, those are always a pain in the butt. If I were to spend money in this game, I'd spend money on very few of the packs in game are actually worth it. For me, the only packs that I could see myself spending money on are the Cairo packs whenever they come around, and the
Oh,
mod packs, like the slicing mats. Those are the two packs I think are actually worth buying, especially the 6A to 6E mod slicing packs.
Mhm.
Those ones are like really really nice, especially for more mid to end game players. Either that or crystals and refreshes, I'd say for sure. Those are definitely my go-tos.
Oh, speaking of packs, another pack that I think is kind of worth it is the $50 Relic 8 packs. I don't
Oh, yep.
remember.
Those
Are they still you get 10 R8 mats, or is it randomized now? Because I remember someone saying that it's randomized between like 5 and 20.
I don't know. I have to look it up honestly.
Yeah, I think it's still if it's still 10, I would say it's good value because like you get halfway to it, you get halfway to an R8. You get, I think it's like 1,500 crystals, which is close to $10 just there in crystals. And then you get a bunch of just relic stuff, like tons of relic stuff. And I think they even throw in a couple of like Gear 12 finisher pieces as well. So like it's like one of those things where it's like it's pretty worth the $50 to spend on, I would say personally.
All right, next question here from Relius. Uh, enough here. Let's see. What do you think the clan as a whole should work on? Or like the biggest weakness and maybe how to fix it. Well, good thing if we got three officers here. I'd say I'm less hands-on. I'm more just kind of I'm here, but we've got two officers here. What would you guys say, or Airborne? What would you say is the biggest weakness that the guilds have?
For me, from my perspective, and just TB wise, I think it's really a matter of participation and following, probably more following directions, if you will. Um, I think sometimes people get a little bit lost or caught up, and it happens every now and then, of course. I'd say the way I'd fix it personally, I think just pay a little bit more attention. I feel like it's a pretty simple problem, and I feel like it just gets caught up because there's a lot of stuff to do in the game, and I feel like, yeah, that'd probably be my answer if I was to choose one.
I would more or less I would go with like just Discord activity. Like sometimes we go through little spurts where it's just like really dead on here, and from time to time I would love to see what like somebody was eating. Like we went to a part where like it was really dead on Discord, and so for a week straight, Lorian went on our guild chat and was just like he would just take a screenshot. He's like, all right, this is what we're eating today. He'd make tacos, make chicken. He's making a little bit of steak. I mean, at one point, I think Cracks was trying to get adopted into his family at some point. Like it was.
You
Yeah.
know, my wife and I make stuff from scratch. Oh man, this past weekend we made homemade orange chicken, like you get at like Panda
Mm.
Express. And let me tell you, that
Ooh.
stuff was really. You know what? I'll have to start posting pictures in the Discord of all the stuff that we make.
Yeah, you should. I mean, that honestly brings some life to it, uh, especially with the recent highlights of Hendo deciding to leave. The Eagle's been a little bit dying down. It's been
Yeah,
there's been
not
some
dying down,
spurts
just
lately.
quiet.
It's
Uh,
quiet. Dying down isn't like activity levels, of course.
yeah. Uh, Next question from Airborne: if there was a bounty hunter GL, which bounty hunter would you think is worthy? And then we had a couple people throw in their 2 cents. So we had Nightshade. He was say a Boba with his reclaimed armor for the Mandalorian series, or just the Book of Boba Fett. And then Relius was like Dirge or an old Boba. And so I kind of want to see what y'all are thinking with if they do
I
add a GL bounty hunter, in which I don't really see it, but I mean I think there's room for it.
Oh, if I had to pick one, there's a reason why I asked this question because there's one person I had in mind, and that's Jango Fett. In my eyes, I don't think there's a cooler bounty hunter besides Jango Fett in this game. I love Jango Fett. I love his kit. He's great in game. His lore is great. I love everything about him. He's a great character. I wish that he was more prevalent in the actual movies or series because I think he's just really cool. Um, Honestly, if it was my pick, I'd say some version of a Jango Fett, maybe with newer armor. Uh, Maybe like a younger Jango Fett, maybe. I think that'd be really cool to see.
I think my take would probably be Forlom, the little guy who like he's in episode 5 and you get a quick little snippet of him when Piet's talking to all the bounty hunters trying to look for the Falcon, and he's just this like so hard to describe. Like he's this like big bug, and he's got this just big head, two big eyes. He's almost like a fly. Like if you think of him as like a human fly. So that would be me. That, and he also has a ship. So I mean, you kind of can double up there, and then give him a ship. That way, he can go with the executor. That'd be my take. That'd be what I would like to see.
See, call me classic here. I think it's got to be Boba Fett. I think, especially with the book of Boba Fett coming out, I think
Mm.
we're about to go back to. I think we're going to get a scoundrel GL with Mando, and I think we're going to get a bounty hunter GL with Boba Fett. Um, I think his kit isn't bad in the game, but it's one of those where like it could use some touching up here or there. And I think they're going to release a new version of him, especially with the new show. So I think Boba's going to get the GL. And personally, that would be my pick. It's when you think bounty hunters, to me, I think Boba Fett. And I'm with you, Airborne. I do like Django a lot. But I think for the mass appeal, I think it's going to be Boba. I would pick Boba Fett.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other choice for Boba in CG's eyes. Boba's just a fan favorite for. I'm kind of in the minority when I say Django, but teach their own.
Next question here from Bowser, our fleet expert in quotations. How high do you think relic numbers are going to go since they keep adding new relic levels? What number do you think they would stop at? If you had an idea of what could be done for a character beyond relic, like, and then he put in parentheses like relic was to go beyond Gear 13, what would it be? Honestly, I would just hope they stop at 10. That's just like a nice even number for me. Heck, I even hated it once they added an 8. I was like, oh, this doesn't feel right.
I mean, I think personally, I can't really see CG going past 9. I feel like they're kind of already stretching it as is, because eventually, once you get into like raising the relic levels to like 10, 11, 12, 13, start going higher and higher and higher. You're just gonna create a lot more confusion and a power creep, and it's just going to be a problem for them to try to sort out. So they're going to have to really be more in tune with kits and how relics react with non-relics. And I feel like if they stop at 9, it'd probably be best for them and for the game in general.
I will say with 9, they wanted Relic 9 to give like a really big boost to defense. So that's one thing I like. If they were to add like one more relic level, it'd be cool if like let's just hypothetical, like they throw it out there. There's like 2 Relic 9s. You can go like Relic 9A or like Relic 9B, or you can skip Relic 9 and go for 10 or whatever. And then like Relic 9 is tailored toward like your defense and your tanks, and then like Relic 10 would be tailored toward your like attackers with a bunch of offense and crit damage. So like it'd be cool if they like found a way to like balance that out, but that'd be kind of hard to do,
I
I
think
would
one thing to
think.
keep in the back of our minds, they did say that they are looking at potency and tenacity being changed with relics. I think that is
Yeah.
something to keep in mind. I am with you, Rock. I think it's going to go to 10. From what we've seen with every relic level, each relic material, this one had the relic 8 had the arrow magnifiers and I believe it's the impulse detectors. Um, I think they're going to stop, and maybe it'll be 9 or maybe it'll be 10. I'm with you because I think 10 looks like a more nicer number. But I think when they run out of Gear 13 gear, because you craft these different relic pieces from the Gear 13 gear or from different gear that you have, and I think it's going to end with the finisher pieces. And then once they get that, because I don't think they're going to create new gear in order to make relic material, because if they do that, it's just it's getting silly. I'm with you, Airborne. The power creep it's always going to be, in a game like this, there's always going to be this power creep. But I mean, at some point, like you just the relic levels are going to get so high, and that means they have to make content that's able to match said relic levels, which means that you're getting light side geo like times 10 if they're wanting to match it. So. Um, yeah, that's my. I think I hope it's Relic 9, but I could possibly see a Relic 10.
One more thing to add before we go to the next question. I think with them adding Relic 9s, General Kenobi was already the number one, probably the number one R8 non-GL. This Relic 9 is just going to make him even better with the Relic 9. Especially with them adding defense and not tenacity, defense and like the crit avoidance and stuff with the Relic 9s for tanks. That's going to make Kenobi just one step better.
Yeah. I think I would agree. We have another set of questions from Relius. He's got 3. And so first one I guess I can kind of answer on my own. How does one get into a higher position within the guild? It's more like he's asking guild swapping. As I guess what he's
I'm thinking
asking.
like officers or leadership. That's what I would think.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
imagine.
It's more or less one of those things. It's like I mean, either ask or usually I would just ask either your leader or another officer and see if there's any spots available. If not, then usually officer corps usually know who they want to recruit anyway. So sometimes they'll just ask you or ask someone else outright. His second question, which I actually kind of like this one, character portraits being potatoes is kind of a staple of this game, but which tune has the worst one slash best one? And so I'm gonna let someone else go because I want to go and look through some character portraits real quick before I
Okay.
make a
Um, I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm
what
gonna
does
do
it mean?
I'm gonna take a
Here we
quick
go.
look here, but I've gotten mines. Um, for me, for the best one, Lord Vader's portrait is easily one of the best that I've ever seen. They really did a good job. It looks really cool. I'm partial to Lord. I'm partial to Lord Vader, Anakin. He was always one of my favorites as a kid. So, but me personally, I think that portrait looks really good. Um, but with regards to the worst, man, I'm looking through. I don't want to pick on the obvious here because I think we all know the obvious. But
Stick
um,
Ray.
I think we can all just agree that Stick Ray is the
Stick
worst.
Rays. Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
if not Stick Ray, um, actually, I'm not gonna lie. Um, Jin Urso looks terrible in this game.
Oh yeah,
100%. Oh yeah.
I think
It's
I'm gonna have to
oh
bad.
go
yeah.
Jin. Like Jin just does not look because like there's some characters where you can tell that they went for more of the cartoon adaptation and not quite the like real life one. But like I don't even know what they were doing. Like it doesn't look like well, I think Felicity Jones is the actor. Like it doesn't look like her, and it's just like a potato. So I would say Lord Vader is my favorite or the best, and I would say Jin's is the honorary worst, since I think we can all agree Stick Ray is the worst.
Yeah. For me, I'd say personally, my favorite. They're both going to be GLs. I think Jedi Master Kenobi and Jedi Master Luke. They're both their profile pictures got knocked out of the park. I really liked both of them. I think they look really well. They're really in tune with designs. They stick to like kind of like the movie feel too, which I really enjoyed. And I think my honorary worst would be it's kind of a toss up between Rose Tico and young Han Solo. I think both of them are just absolutely horrible. Just need redesigns like ASAP. Like it's just not good.
So I think my favorite, the one that looks really nice, is it comes down. Well, I'm just gonna say this. I think all the Bad Batch minus Omega looks really good.
Yeah.
I think they all look really good, look solid. But I think the one that I like the most is probably Beskar Mando. Even though he's kind of a bad tune, his armor's nice and shiny. You know, you got the baby next to him. Like I think they really did him good. And then my tag for like the worst two is I mean I think Omega might be one of the worst ones there because she looks like a kid, and if you like, I would look up like an English yeoman. That's what she looks like. She looks like a little peasant farmer. Is like that's why I look at every time I look at her, I'm like, oh, look at this little peasant farmer about to take on some droids or something like that. Like that's just the image I get every time I look at her. Her and I think Kidati Mundi kind of got big old Mr. Potato Head got the shaft when it came to portraits.
Yeah, Cone Boy.
Yeah, Cone Boy. He got like no detail on his face. He's just like real
All forehead.
bland. His hands don't even look like together. His hands are just like connected together. Like there's no space between them. So, uh, Relius's last question is, what do you think is the most underappreciated status effect? And I'm gonna go ahead and answer right now and say tenacity down.
Ooh.
So underrated.
I'm gonna say critical hit immunity. I think that's just it. Does it really? You can't do enough, especially against high crit tunes. That's just you can't go wrong with crit avoidance or crit hit immunity.
I'm actually gonna go here. We're gonna go ships, and it was. I think the Executor has it now, but it used to be exclusive to my boy Carthonasi in the Ebonhawk, and it is. I'm gonna sound like an idiot if I don't pronounce this right. I believe it's chaff. Chaff. I don't think it's chafe. That doesn't sound right. I think it's chaff. Um, and basically, it gives you immunity to target lock. I believe is what it does, and especially for ships where everything kind of it's immunity to target lock. So that's huge for ships. Most, if not all, things in ships revolve around target lock. So being able to be immune to target lock is really nice.
Hmm.
All right, next
Uh,
question. Um,
hey, I got it. I got it, everyone. It's from Turtle Orgy or Joy for You. If either name is, I think, cool. But he says, "Hey, I don't know how many of you care, but PlayStation Conference just confirmed that KOTOR is coming back onto the PlayStation." He said, "Never played the last one, but I'm hype," and I would have to say I would agree. I played most of KOTOR 1. I didn't finish KOTOR 1, so y'all don't chastise me, but I really enjoyed it. I just haven't had the time to play it. So I would like to play 2, though. I hear 2 is a lot better than 1, but yeah. You guys excited for it?
As oh my gosh, as KOTOR is probably KOTOR 1 and 2 are probably my favorite games of all time. Um, my wife and I's running joke is whenever I get slightly tipsy or drunk, I start spouting out KOTOR lore, and it's just the story is fantastic. It's to the point where I think I like KOTOR more than I like Star Wars. Actually, um, the mods are fantastic. The game is visually may not have aged the best, but like I still will play the game multiple times a year. It's I am so excited for the remake.
ooh, I am in the minority, and y'all are gonna yell and scream at me for this. I have never seen KOTOR, never played it, never watched it. Just didn't even know it existed till like last year. Um, for me, I think I'm not educated this topic because I don't really enjoy KOTOR that much or haven't seen it enough for me to base an opinion on it. So,
Do yourself a favor. If you got a PC, it's on Steam. You can pick
go
it up for
play
like
it.
$5 or $10. And the good thing is it
Yeah.
was made in 2003, so like you can play it on any computer. Um,
Wow,
Yeah,
it
you
predates
can.
me.
the mods, the modding community is super active on Reddit, and they're really nice people. I've had issues with some certain mods, and like the people who made the mods are the ones who are the Reddit admins. And it's just oh my gosh. And then also if you got an Xbox, they ported it over to the Xbox One, and it actually runs pretty well. But definitely do yourself a favor. Anyone who's listening to the podcast or Airborne, like uh, definitely go play KOTOR. It is
They also put it on the phone as
yeah,
well.
they
They
did.
put KOTOR 1 on the phone.
Actually,
I think they put
Yeah, but you got
KOTOR.
to pay like $6, $6 or $7 for it,
it's not
which
bad.
that's not bad. It's worth. You get the full game on your phone for $7. Like, come on.
I'll have to play it before I hop back on the next one.
Oh yeah, for
Give my
sure.
opinions for sure.
And then we got the last question from Slay. He said, "Would you recommend going for the Executor instead of a GL to stay relevant in Fleet Arena?"
I have a really strong opinion on this one. I say 100% do not go for Executor instead of a GL. One, because especially with the new nerfs to most non GL GL counters, I think you're gonna do way better and way happier having a GL rather than Executor. And not only that, but Executor's kind of still beatable. I've seen well geared rebels can make short work of Executor. Um, and even then, even in most fleet arenas, you're not going to see many executors because the requirements are quite steep. Especially in my fleet arena, I've seen one in my fleet arena, and I think honestly, it'd still be way worth your time to go for either malevolence or negotiator or rebels before you go for executor or and then go for a GL instead, in my opinion.
Uh, for me, it's kind of a toss up. It's one of those things where, like, if you already have a GL, then go for Executor. You're really not hurting yourself because you already have a GL. But in the sense that you don't have a GL and you don't have Executor, and it's basically a coin flip on what you want to go for, I don't know. I think now Executor isn't as strong, but I don't know. I have like a weird feeling that like there's another bounty hunter around the corner that's gonna make the ship like amazing. So, but it is also one of those things where I mean, a GL is a GL, and it also depends on your fleet arena. Like my fleet arena only have one guy with executor, and he climbs, he takes first place, and then he switches to negotiator. But if your fleet is like filled with like 10 of them, then yeah, you might want to have an executor that would take them out. I think it just kind of depends on your fleet shard more than anything else.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you here, everyone. I think a GL is going to be better. Not that Executor isn't all that, because I think it is, but um, I mean, you get good fleets with most, if not all, the current GLs. I will say the Executor requirements. Now that I've really had a chance to really kind of sit with it, I actually don't. I think it's easier to go for Executor than it is to go for a GL, at least in terms of your return on investment. Like all the characters that you relic are good characters. Like I wouldn't say there's a bad character, and you're going to be able to do something with it. Um, and especially the domination fleet and fleet arena. So, and as opposed to like when you're having to relic 15 characters or so, and especially with the more recent GLs, you're having to take a lot of characters to relic 7, relic 8. Um, at least you're getting a direct. You're relegating Boba. Well, you're using Slave One in your Executor. Stuff like that. I think I'm still in the GL camp. I think having the tunes is more important, or the characters is more important, just because there's more character content in the game than there is ship content. Um, so I personally am in the GL camp, but yeah, it's not a bad route to go. So I think,
All right,
did we
we on
want
to the
to jump into Lord
Lord
Vader?
Vader stuff. Yeah.
So those of you who have not seen, Lord Vader is now into the game. They pretty much just dropped his kit reveal yesterday and then just released him to the game. Um, he is. I'm not going to do the entire kit word for word because he has a wordy kit. He has a
Yeah.
really wordy kit. Um, he is obviously a Galactic Legends, Dark Side attacker, and he does have the Empire and Sith tag, but he's a lot like General Kenobi or Jedi Master Kenobi, where he has the Jedi tag, but he's more with Galactic Republic. Lord Vader is going to be with the Empire, and the main way to charge his ultimate is to have his allies, debuffed dark side allies, whenever they receive damage, he gains ultimate charge. Um, his whole kit is around uh, increasing mastery, and then once you hit ultimate, he gains all that mastery. One of the unique things, he's a lot like Nihilus Lead, where he converts all of his protection into health, and he has like these tiers in his leadership, a lot like how Malik has when he gains stats. For example, while below 80%, so while you're below 80% health, you can't be critically hit. While you're above 50% health, they are immune to damage over time and thermal detonators. And while above 35% health, they are during an enemy's attack, they are immune to max health reduction and any other damage that is based on max health. Um, he's got some cool stuff in his kit. Basically, I'll walk through basic. Um, he has increased damage that goes with it, and based on how many stacks of underestimated, which is a status effect he gains, he'll be able to do more damage. Um, he has cooldown increases into his kits. Got some damage over time synergy here, but basically, he is going to be an Empire GL, and as of right now, I don't know. We really know the best team to run with him. I'm not gonna. Now that I'm looking at this, I kind of want to read a little more of the kit, but it's really really wordy. I would encourage you just to go watch either Arnold's video on it or go read it for yourself because it's pretty wordy. So uh, First reactions, guys, when you saw the kit, and then when you saw a little bit of the gameplay and all, what did you think of Lord Vader?
Honestly, from my perspective, I saw Lord Vader. I watched Arnold's stream when it first released, play through the event. I think the event was really cool. The background and cinematics were done really, really well for the event. I think they're on par with some of the other GLs and their events. I think overall impression wise of placements, I feel like it's a little early to say definitively where he's going to go. I kind of feel like what Glermit said earlier when we had a conversation about this in general. Um, Definitely, he will be a GL, kind of like JMK, where he'll need Cat, but in this case, it's Maul, to actually unlock his full potential, if you will. I think we'll see a lot more of him once people start getting his ult and Maul comes around. I think we'll see a lot more competitivity with him. For now, he seems a little lackluster, especially non-ults. And without Maul, he's a little bit lackluster. But I feel like that will change as soon as Maul comes around.
I like him. I don't know if I don't know where he's going to place though, because it seems like he beats Ray really easily. Which, I mean, what GL doesn't beat Ray? Poor Ray. I mean, shoot, she gets beat by everything nowadays, so it kind of sucks for her. But I mean, he also doesn't seem very good on defense either. He seems very beatable on defense. But I do like that he's Empire Synergy, and there are a lot of Empire tunes that are, I wouldn't say like they're very good tunes, but they're very decent. And so Lord Vader's gonna have a lot of like, what's what I'm looking for? Utility. Like I can see like a Shore Trooper being really good in that team, another pre taunt, another healer, stuff like that. Honestly, I like that he made Vader now looks very good. Like the OG Vader looks really good since they did the nerf and they made it to where Vader does more damage on dots and then but Lord Vader spreads dots like crazy, so you got Vader hitting for ridiculous amounts of damage again. So I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be interesting. I just want to see where Maul pans out. Uh, but yeah, I like him so far. I personally probably wouldn't farm him just because it looks like it's gonna take a while to farm. But shoot, he looks fun.
Yeah, no, I was really excited. I watched a decent amount of Arnold's stream yesterday. I think he's gonna be. I think much like how Kylo was before Kylo got before his Kylo's ult is unlocked. Kylo's a bit lackluster, and once you get the ult, he's better. I think it's going to be the same with Lord Vader and his ult, and I think with Maul as well. I think he really needs Maul, at least in Squad Arena, to be doing really well because he looks like he struggles against Jedi Master Luke and Jedi Master Kenobi. But I'm actually kind of fine with him just beating some and not others because you want all the Galactic Legends to be balanced. You don't want to constantly be chasing new ones. When you get a Galactic Legend, that should be something that like, wow, this is something that I got. This is something that I can, use for the rest of, the end game. And so I'm fine with him maybe not doing as well versus certain characters, but I think he looks solid. I think we just need to figure out the right modding, the right team, and um, I think he's going to be great.
Mm.
The other thing that happened was Royal Guard got a rework, um, kind of out of nowhere, but basically he is going to synergize with Lord Vader, but also like he's just a overall like actually usable character now. Uh, Main changes that they made is his stun is now he is pretty much now he can stun all the time. They upped it to 100% chance as long as he's above 50% health. His first special, Imperial Phalanx, I think that's it. Allows him to
Failing,
taunt now.
failings.
Okay.
Yes.
Allows him to taunt, which is nice because he needed that because he basically had very small windows where he could taunt. Um, and then the big thing, they gave him a Zeta, and what this does is if this is basically his Lord Vader clause, At the start of the encounter, if the allied leader is Empire, Royal Guard gains max health equal to 5% of the allied leader's max health, and then doubles his health until the end of the encounter. Basically, he's going to be a thick boy. Is more what's going to happen. Is Royal Guard's going to be a thick boy.
Oh yeah. And he's also
What
going
did
to
you
be
guys think of the
he's
Royal
also
Guard
going to be
Warlord?
pretty viable with like just regular Palp lead because Palp leads Empire. He'll still gain that 5% of Palps, and then he'll double his health. Same with Vader. I mean, I know somebody was talking about running him with an M Trooper team just to see what would happen. So
Yeah. I
I
think
like it.
I was about. I think it was about time for him to get a rework. He has been a little too useless since like I don't even know now. 2017 probably 2016.
Yeah,
Um, it's been quite a few years since he's ever been notable or at least more than I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to word it, but um,
viable.
viable. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. It's been a long time since he's been viable. I think he's going to be really good with Lord Vader lead because, as you know, GLs have massive, massive stats. So if you're going to get a lot more percentage of health from him if you're running him with Lord Vader lead than you would have if you were running like Palp lead or some other thing like that. I still think he'll be viable with those other teams though. Um, I'm just gonna say it was about time. It was needed. I'm kind of glad it happened, and we'll see what happens with it. We'll see where he goes, what new teams come up with, and all that stuff.
That and SEE owners actually don't have to cry anymore over having to gear him up.
True, that's a positive too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think now we wanted to jump
Uh,
into, believe it was Conquest we wanted to talk about, right?
yeah. Real quick. The Galactic Chase thing. I just wanted to talk about it just
Oh
real quick.
yeah, I forgot about
Oh, yeah,
that.
same.
They, I guess they were very upset that they messed up in Darkside Geo that they gave us a Galactic Conquest with Geos. So, I mean, I think it's every node you farm or something like that. You get a chance to get one of the Geos, which most of us in these guilds have the Geo 7 stars already. Most of them ready, so this is just going to be charged up currency. But they decided that they're going to continue this, and every month they will do like a week of Galactic Chase. And so if you look at the most recent what channel is it? Game updates. If you look at that, they have a thing that's called Galactic Chase, What's Next? And basically they are going to do a Galactic Chase every month, but they're letting us vote on what we want it to be. And so next month we either going to have Malevolence or Negotiator. So I would go and vote Malevolence because I really need it, and I would appreciate if y'all voted for Malevolence so I can, get the 5 stars. So
Same here.
Go. I'm on the opposite side here. Go vote negotiators, so I can go get my.
no.
Thank you. Go vote negotiator, guys. Woo!
All right, let's get into Conquest. So,
Conquest.
uh, are we all on normal mode here?
I'm on hard mode.
I'm
Oh,
on normal.
oh, you must be having fun. Wait, so you got the Sector 5 on hard mode?
Yeah, I did it without a GO.
Damn, really?
Wow,
That's
that's
impressive.
impressive.
Yeah,
Wow.
honestly, I mean, CLS has carried me the whole time, but like, it's honestly not that bad. Like, it's hard, but like, not. I will say the only one that's really hard is this final battle with Jedi Master Kenobi because it's annoying because he has his like extra claws that he gets for it, and he's able to gain turn meter, but with Jedi Master Kenobi lead, nobody can gain or lose turn meters. So that's it gets a little tricky sometimes. But I've had a good time with Conquest, even with it being hard. What about you guys?
Um.
Everyone, you go ahead and go first, bud.
All right, sounds good. For me, conquest this roundabout. I mean, honestly, I've still been a little bit sad about my heart about losing deployable cooling systems. Still sad. Still remembering the glory days of conquest, where it was actually fun. Um, it's not that bad. It wasn't as bad as last conquest. Last conquest was just bug ridden. It was just not it. Um, I encountered a lot of bugs myself through my playthrough. through Conquest 6 and now Conquest 7. Um, I think honestly, it's kind of a chore. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I like to mix up of teams and make things a little bit easier, but at the same time, I don't really have a ton of teams to carry me through. The only two teams that I have that I can actually do stuff with are my Darth Revan and my Padme. Both are full relic teams, of course, and those are the only two teams that do anything through sectors 3, 4, and 5. So, a little bit sad about that, but yeah, it's not too bad.
Hmm. Hot take here. I've actually liked Conquest as a go around. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I think that they did a lot of things that really made it a lot easier and a lot more fun. Like it was really nice fighting a full Jawa team. It's really nice fighting teams that I'm actually going to see in like Grand Arena and stuff like that. Some of the some of the Mon Mothma teams were just like very left base in the previous ones, but the Mon Mothma teams you fight now are pretty like standard. Uh, Grievous teams were really weird because like sometimes you would sit there, you would have Grievous, and then you would have like a couple droids, and then like here's a random Geo in the team, and so it was just like really weird because like now it's almost kind of like a sandbox game where you can practice with certain teams, certain counters, and stuff like that. But the data cards kind of screw that up. I also do like how they put that boss in the middle, kind of like that prepping you, not really prepping you, which is kind of weird. That usually you would think like in the first couple of sectors, the middle boss is almost the same as the final boss, and so you kind of get a little bit of knowing what to expect. But then in like Sector 5, it's so weird. Like Sector 5, the boss is Phoenix in the middle, but your final boss is Jedi Master Kenobi. So like they just totally left base. And then I also like the new data. Some they added a lot of data cards that were new. One that I really liked was that one that was anytime you attack out of turn, you gain X amount of protection. And if you run gas, oh that is probably the best card for you. I would get as many of those as I could, and then get like 3 or 4 of them, and then you would. Gas pretty much never is invincible. He just never goes down, and then you can just tank through the battle, and then get 3 stars on everything. So that's I've liked it. It really hasn't felt like a chore to me either. It's really been refreshing. I just started Sector 5. It was either I started Sector 5 today. I did like 2 battles there, and I'll probably do a couple more tonight, and then I'll do a couple in the morning, and I have enough time to where I can beat Sector 5, and then I'll go back and try to like get some of the beats done. That's what's been taking so long for me is I've been doing the feats instead of trying to push through it. So one little tip I'll give for Conquest for people who are kind of struggling. In Sector 4 normal, there's 2 feats you have to do. One is evade 50 attacks, and the other is win 7 battles with Jedi. You can do both of those at the same time if you run Yoda, Hermit Yoda, or like Kenobi, because Foresight counts as an evade. So I would just run Yoda and Kenobi and just spam Foresight. And by the time you get your 7 battles done with Jedi, you'll get your Foresight, your evasion done before. So it's a good little kind of 2 birds with 1 stone kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you here. I've really liked it. I think there is Maul was the theme of this conquest, and I think they did a good job incorporating that with the bosses. The data discs are great. I think they've got new ones in. I think where they can make improvements here is the first big one. Just make data discs changeable with credits. Um, they want us to use the different data disks, and especially since the energy refreshes so slowly, I'm just as discouraged because I didn't want to change my data disk when I was using the conquest tickets to change them, but using the energy refreshes so slowly, and considering that you can't beat conquest with all free energy, you have to use crystals. It's just like, man, like I know that they want to monetize the mode, but I think discouraging the changing of data disks is not a good move. I've liked a lot of the feats. I think the ones that I didn't like were the middle boss feats of like one dark side, one light side, and undersize, because that means you have to do it three separate times, and that's 60 energy all on one battle. I think just make it more like either don't have feats in it and just have it be a boss fight, and or you have it be things that you can do in game. Just because you're when people complain about it being a chore, that's the things that make it a chore. So to me, that's how they can change it, or how they can change it for the better is to do something. But I've thought it's been fun. I'm doing Conquest hard mode. I do not have a GL. I have a Sith Empire team that really doesn't do that well because I don't have them high relic. I have a Commander Luke team and a Jedi team, and that's pretty much how I've gotten through Conquest. I'm halfway done with the Maul and Savage one, just because my Vader's high enough relics, and I got lucky. I got the purple data card where whenever the leader does an ability, everyone is called to assist. So whenever I merciless massacre with Vader, I can stun everyone because I only use Vader versus rebels. So heal basic, put ability block down because it can't be resisted, and then Thrawn will stun them, and I pretty much will just win after that, and then I can just throw Maul and Savage in, and as long as I win, then it gets counted there. So it hasn't been too bad, but then again, I got lucky with that data disk. Um, but it's been fun. I hope if they can make those changes, I'd be really happy. But I've liked what they've done with Conquest.
Yeah.
Agree. I think the one really repetitive thing about it is having to spend energy, especially. That's just it's the real kicker, because especially with the fact, what are they charging, like 7 energy or something like that per data disk change?
Yeah, yeah, seven.
Oh, yeah, 7. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous for the rate that it regens, considering you already have to spend crystals to complete conquest and all the feats and stuff. Um, Honestly, I would be okay with credits. Like you'd say, I think that'd probably be the best one. Like do like 10K credits for something or 5K credits or something, and just like that better. I'd even be fine with like crystals at that point, like 5 crystals or like 3 crystals or something. I'd be
I
cool with
prefer
that,
just
as long as
bump
it's
the
not
energy
energy.
down.
Yeah,
Bring the
yours too.
energy
I mean,
down to like 3 or 2.
yeah, seven's quite steep, especially when you're thinking it's 15 to start a battle, right?
Yeah.
So if
I'll
you
see in
change 2 discs, that's already a
hard mode it's
match.
20. Hard mode it's 20 energy
Oh,
a battle, which like that it's brutal.
yeah, that's got to be just not fun, because you get like so you have 144 energy at max cap. That's like 7 battles a day.
And if you refresh,
That's
you only get
it,
120. So you can
yeah,
only get 6 battles at a time.
yeah. That's just rough, man.
Mm.
But yeah, no, that's been great. Did we want to? Was there any other news or things that we wanted to cover?
I think we covered it
Um,
all pretty much.
So,
did
hey
we want
everyone,
to come back to?
I know that you're new here, so why don't you start us off here? You got to let us know what are you farming right now?
Oh, I'm really excited to answer that actually. I am getting really close to getting gas done. I am like so close. It's not even funny. I have to finish C3PO, and then I've got some droids to finish, and that'll be gas. After gas, I'm going into JMK, so that'll be fun. I've been hoarding my R8 mats for quite a while, so General Kenobi will be my first Relic 8. I'm really looking forward to getting things going. As soon as I get gas, I feel like my light side roster will really kind of circle together. I'm gonna get Shock T clones and gas all done at the same time, so that way I can be more productive in light side Geo and really look for some 4 to 4s. Um, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Not wise, at least I am at what is it 2.4 or no, yeah, 2.4 million GP. I have both my capital ships are almost done. They're both 6 stars. I have Malevolence and Negotiator at 6 stars. I'm getting pretty close to Negotiator being 7 stars. So yeah, that's what I'm up to.
Nice.
Yeah.
Rock,
Right,
what about
so
you? What are you farming?
on my alt account, my little junior account, I I got Watt to 7-star. I got him the Relic 5. I'll get him the Relic 7 soon for Kenobi. Boba, I got him the Relic 5. I got Qui-Gon and Ayla to Gear 12, which I'll have to get them Relic at some point. But I took a short little break on the Jedi Master Kenobi farm, and I'm going to side farm that little P1 Vader team, so that way I can try to pull some more damage in Crancor. Get a little more rewards, get a little more alright match, that whole shebang. And then I'll be back on Kenobi after that. I almost have Bo-Katan done star-wise, and then I'll have to farm gear for her. Ayla and Qui-Gon both only need just one Gear 12 piece to get to Relic, and then both of those are just get to R3, and that won't be too bad. But that'll be after I get BB-8 done. BB-8's at Gear 12, so I'm thinking maybe probably 2 months. I'm probably 2 months away from Kenobi. And then on my main account, still been grinding on Jedi Master Luke. I don't take that account as serious as I do my alt account, so the progression's a little bit slower. I got my Moth with a 7-star, got her the Relic 5, and then all I have left is Chupio. He's 7-star, Gear 11, and I have 2 pieces to get him to Gear 12. So that's what I got. MDA, what about you, bud?
Let me tell you guys. Got I'm one requirement away. We have Mon Mothma 7-stars. We are 40 of the gold Mark V med packs away from Gear 12. I have, I believe, 4 out of the 6 Gear 13 pieces, and the other 2, I think I need one more of the left piece, which I'm like, one refresh away from just getting those. And then the finisher piece, I think I just need the Kairos for. And then I have all the relic materials to take her straight to R5. And after that, it's ticket farming. So we're going to be taking, I'm hoping by the end of the week, or I guess it's Thursday because of the short week. I forgot time's flown by. But I'm hoping, realistically, I would love to have Jedi Master Luke unlocked by the end of September. But I also want to have all the gear and Zetas so I can take him at least to Gear 13. I have, I think, half the Zetas. I have about 60. And I think I'll definitely be able to get the rest. But the Kairos are going to be tough. I might have to stall ticket farming just to have all the Kairos. But after that, I'm going to go for Lord Vader is my next big project, but gas is going to be what I'm doing in the short term. I've got 40,000 get one saved up, so I'm almost at enough to take him to 7-stars, but it'll be going for gas after that. But we are really close to getting a GL, so that'll be another thing for Territory Wars. That's another 4 out of 4 in Lightside Geo. And that is actually a Phase 4 Crankcore team, which we definitely need more of. So, yeah.
It's exciting. That's exciting. Yeah.
I think we did miss the 2 things here. I think we want to do the stonks of the week first. So,
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah, I'll go through. Got a couple of good ones here. We have Nightshade, got a 7-star negotiator. And then Joy for You unlocked Supreme Leader Kylo. Mad MR from Age unlocked SCE. Next G Legend unlocked Gas. Shamp. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Shamp unlocked JML. Shiggles or Shingles. I think it's Shiggles. I think I put that in there and I didn't mean to. Farm got Supreme Leader Kylo. And then New Katuki, it's Nukatoon. Okay, Nukatoon unlock gas. I swear. Can y'all just all change your Discord names to just like Steve and Bob and Greg and stuff like that? Like I would just appreciate it so much.
Unless you said that everyone's gonna change their name to like some foreign language, and you're just gonna.
Oh
It's
my
just
god.
it's be difficult for you. Crying.
Yeah. One last thing we wanted to do, we wanted to try a new segment this week. Uh, for the people who like listening, tell us if you like it or not. Uh, we wanted to kind of do like a team of the week or like a tune of the week where we just go over a team or a tune and we go over just mods, how to mod them, different ways you can mod them, what stats you should be looking for when you look to mod them, stuff like that. And for the first week, we'll go with kind of more of a generalized tune that I think a lot of people have. We'll go with CLS for first installment of this, and I'll let MDA and Airborne take this one away because I'm not too familiar. I run CLS, but I'm not the most familiar with them, so I'll let these guys handle that.
I think MDA, you're a little bit more qualified than I am. So if you want to have the floor, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll say CLS is one of those teams that he there's I believe that there's really kind of like you have one kind of modding format, and that is the modding format that's used just across the board. Whatever you need to counter, like that's what you need to do. The good thing, he's a great character. He came out a long time ago, but he's still really useful. He for an attacker, he's decently fast. I think he's like 172. I think is his base speed. So I personally would not use a speed set on him, even though you can get decent speeds with a speed set. I think he's best. I personally run him with crit damage and potency, because if you look at his leadership or his unique, whenever he inflicts a debuff, he gains 10% turn meter, and other allies gain half that amount. So the more debuffs that he's inflicting, the more turn meter that you're getting. Um, so the stats that I try to get, bringing up his unique again, it binds all things. He does get 40% potency, which bringing that with he has 41% at gear 13. So I would say if you can get him to around like um, 55 to 60% potency, you're going to be inflicting debuffs pretty reliably because if he's at 60%, then that 40% will take him to 100%. Um, but crit damage, he hits really hard because he's an attacker, and his mastery is they change. Where's the his mastery is critical chance, critical damage, and damage. So you can benefit from that. But have some good speed secondaries. I'm gonna run through my mods here on him. I got protection circle. I have an offense primary cross, a crit damage triangle, and a speed arrow. Um, Run some good mods on him. And yeah, I would say crit damage and potency is probably the best way, in my opinion, to go with him.
Awesome, awesome. Did we get any YouTube questions before we go ahead and sign off?
Actually, real quick, Airborne, did you have anything to add to that?
Um, Not really. I mean, I think you really covered all bases. CLS is a character that's pretty versatile, so honestly, I don't think you can't really go wrong with CLS. I mean, he's got some formats that are, of course, less than desirable, if you will. I think he still does okay with the speed and or offense set. Um, I feel like CLS is one of those characters where like he really won't be detrimental by using a less than ideal set, if you will.
Solid. But Rock, actually, we have not gotten a single person in the YouTube chat, so um,
Dang, that's
no
upsetting.
no
It's
YouTube
sad.
I guess
questions.
I guess Thursday's just not our day. All right,
Yeah,
that's fun. All right,
but
um,
yeah, this
I guess
was
we can go ahead and sign off.
this was great, Airborne. Thanks for hopping on the pod with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun. Hope to be back here sometime soon.
For sure, for sure. All right, but yeah,
All
thanks
right,
again, Rock, for being here, and for anyone who did stop by in the live stream, appreciate you stopping by, and for anyone who watches this back later, we appreciate you for listening. But yeah, catch you guys later.